Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're diving deep into what's been going on with Doctor Who's ratings disaster. The iconic show has just posted its worst overnight ratings in history, ever. That's a huge deal when you consider that Doctor Who has been on the air for over 6 decades. But here we are, facing a real crisis for the once-beloved time-traveling series. The latest episode aired on April 12th as part of the show's second season, and the ratings were shockingly low. Only 2 million people tuned in. That's a huge drop when you compare it to past seasons. And for those who don't know, season premieres are usually the big draw. They're supposed to get the most eyeballs, setting the stage for the rest of the season. But this, on the other hand, was a disaster. Now, traditionally, the premiere of a Doctor Who season would get better numbers than the rest of the episodes. People are excited about the start of a new season, and the finale is usually another big event. But here, the season opener is barely even a blip on the radar. It's pretty clear that Doctor Who has hit rock bottom. And honestly, it's looking like the end is near for the show. It feels like it's winding down, and even Russell T Davies, the man who brought the show back to life in 2005, has alluded to the idea that a pause might be on the horizon. Some fans are even speculating that the BBC might consider putting the show on hold for a while. As for Disney, which has been helping bankroll Doctor Who, there's no way they'll continue pouring money into this if the viewership is this low. The BBC has tried to spin this as something positive, using fancy terms like +7, +14, and +28 to talk about ratings. These are the extra metrics they track for catch-up views and streaming. They're hoping this will somehow make the numbers look better. But let's be real here. It's not fooling anyone. The ratings are bad. There's no denying that. And when you look back at past seasons, it's clear that the ratings have been steadily dropping for years. Even the first season of the Actors' run as the Doctor had better overnight numbers than this. What does this mean for the show's future? If the ratings keep dropping, it's only a matter of time before the show is either paused or cancelled altogether. And let's be honest, we all know that the Doctor Who special episodes that air on Christmas or New Year's Day often get inflated viewership because people are just letting the TV run in the background during the holidays. It's not a real reflection of the show's actual popularity. Now, even with all this, the BBC is trying to convince everyone that things are fine. They've been promoting the hell out of this season, trying to salvage what's left of the Doctor Who brand. But as things are going, it's pretty clear that there's no saving this ship from sinking. They're making excuses, trying to deflect blame, but the reality is that the numbers don't lie. Fans aren't tuning in, and they haven't been for a while. And as for the Planet of the Ink Elves episode, fans weren't exactly thrilled. The concept itself is pretty off-putting for some. No one really asked for a Doctor Who episode about Ink Elves. It feels forced, like they're just trying to be controversial for the sake of it. The plot follows the new companion, who is taken by robots to a planet where an AI wants to make her its queen. Then it turns out the AI is just a jilted ex-boyfriend, which eventually leads to the realization that this is the Planet of the Ink Elves. The whole premise felt off, and many fans thought it was an odd choice for the show. This kind of social commentary used to be a hallmark of Doctor Who. The show would tackle real-world issues with a sense of purpose and depth. But lately, it feels like the show is throwing in commentary just to check a box. It doesn't feel as genuine anymore. It's all about hitting the progressive talking points rather than telling a compelling story. The social commentary is there because they feel like they have to say something, not because they actually have something meaningful to say. And fans are noticing. It's not just about having a diverse cast or checking off boxes for inclusion. It's about how it's done, and right now it feels pretty shallow. Some viewers were still hopeful about the new Doctor. They're a fan of the character and think the show's still got potential. But there's a big issue. The new Doctor hasn't exactly won over the audience yet. He's still in the process of finding his footing, and unfortunately, he's already dealing with the lowest ratings of any Doctor since the show's revival. There's a lot of pressure on him to step up and turn things around. But with the show's current trajectory, it's hard to see how he can do that. And let's not forget, Doctor Who used to be a huge deal in the US. Thanks to BBC America, the show gained a sizable fanbase here. People were crazy about it, even if it never quite reached the level of cultural dominance that it had in the UK. But now, Even the US audience has largely dropped off. The show has become a niche interest, and those who used to love it have moved on, and it's not just the kids. Older fans who grew up with the show are also checking out. Now it's not just about one bad season or one bad episode. The writing has been inconsistent for a while now. Some episodes are good, sure, but many are forgettable or even outright bad. It's become clear that the creative team just doesn't have the same magic that they used to. There's no more spark in the writing, and the performances, even from talented actors, can't save the lackluster scripts. And here's the kicker. Russell T Davies, the man who revitalized Doctor Who in the 2000s, came back hoping to restore the show to its former glory. He brought back fan favorites, brought in talented actors, and even tried to inject some fresh energy into the show. But despite all of that, the show's ratings have only gotten worse. And when you've got Disney involved, you know they're not going to keep throwing money at something that's tanking. If Doctor Who isn't bringing in the numbers, Disney will move on. They're not going to bankroll a sinking ship just because they have the rights to it. Fans are frustrated, and the critics are piling on, citing the increasingly forced social commentary and ridiculous storylines. It's not just the lackluster episodes. They're sick of the woke, forced agenda that's seeping into the show. There's a general sense of frustration with the way things are going. And it's not just about one episode. It's the overall direction of the show. So what's next for Doctor Who? Well, Russell T Davies has hinted at another potential hiatus, mentioning that the show has gone through rough patches before and might return in a few years. But honestly, it's hard to see how that would work. Fans have been let down, and they're not coming back easily. The show needs a major overhaul, something the BBC might not be ready to do. Maybe it's time for a long break. Let the dust settle and see if it can make a comeback in a decade or so. In the meantime, there are the Big Finish audio dramas and comics, but as for the main series, it's likely time to accept that it's over. And that's the sad truth. It is over. It's not coming back to the level it once had. Doctor Who might just be a thing of the past now, and we've all got to move on. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more content.